So I'm just going to start straight in. So hold on for the ride. I'll try to speak slowly, but in my Minnesota way, my vowels are very long, and sometimes I talk very fast, and maybe with my hands too. So, all right. There's an old tradition that says God sends each person into this world with a special song to sing, with a special message to deliver, and with special acts of love to bestow. No one else can sing my song, deliver my message, or offer my acts of love. They are entrusted only to me. I remember when my professor and mentor, Trevor Hudson, presented this during a doctorate class. I was experiencing chronic illness that had totally crushed my body and my spirit. It had drained my energy, it had given me a foggy brain, and an inability to think my way out of the dilemma like I normally would. Did I feel that I had a special song to sing? No, I can't sing. At least not like others I know who have voices of angels or musical training. And I was sad and stuck. The world felt like it was passing me by, and I was just sitting on the sidelines and watching. Did I have a message to deliver? Nope. I didn't have any energy to give messages, and I was not so sure what message I could give from this place of disruption of my life. I was still figuring it out. A special act of love to offer? Well, I did love my children, and I was trying the best I could do that as their mother, but I didn't feel like I had anything special to give to the world. Whatever God had in mind and had entrusted to me as song, message, offer of love, felt confusing and kind of out there. It was a nice idea, sure, but I just didn't see anything happening in my life that seemed that special. Yet, we come to Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, and it says that, for we are God's masterpiece. We are God's masterpiece. God has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do the good things God planned for us. What? Good things? Wait. Good things? Weak or strong? Old or young? Well or sick? With energy or without? Etc., etc., etc. Whatever fill in the blank you have for yourself right there. Yes, we are God's masterpieces, priceless works of art, and created for the good things that God has planned. I love this idea of God as artist, which is what it means, God's masterpiece, God's piece of art. And God creating and recreating as needed when we need a fresh start. Perhaps like an artist would scrape away wet paint off a canvas if it didn't work or needed improvement, and then paint something new in its place, something fresh and living and creative. We are reminded that we don't live life alone, for God is with us. And that makes all the difference, because God sends others to be with us too. And I borrowed the words of children's TV show host Mr. Rogers. Look for the helpers. Even for those who are normally the helpers, there still are helpers for us as well. And listen to the encouragement of Isaiah 41, verse 10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will give you strength, and for sure, I will help you. Yes, I will hold you up with my right hand that is right and good. Promises of what God will do. Be with us. Give us strength. Help us. And hold us. No matter what we're experiencing or how we feel. So how can we tap into this witness with God? And at this point, I know I've been in sitting in situations like this where some of you are groaning and thinking, oh, great, she's going to give us something more to do, like as if I have more time for that. Or some of you are going to say, oh my gosh, really? She's going to give us something to try and experiment? Yay, not just theories. So let me just offer to you a gentle thing that maybe you could just slip into your daily rhythm. Okay, how's that? An experiment if you'd like to try. Okay, perhaps there's an opportunity for us to pause when we arrive at work, to breathe a few deep breaths, and maybe slowly read one of these verses. Or maybe just use the words as you close your eyes, you take those breaths, and maybe you are just thinking in your head as you breathe in, God of love, breathe in, share love with me, breathe out, and then breathe in, share love with us, breathe out. Those are called breath prayers. Nothing huge, amazing, burdensome, just simple, bright breathing and a place of connection with God who's already present in anything we will yet be encountering for that day and has gifted us life and the new day and our ability to even walk that road. And we could do that before we just mindlessly rush out of our cars and into the buildings. Just a pause, a couple moments of pausing. Or perhaps we could pause at the end of the workday and do the same thing. And just see if anything bubbles up in us that we become aware of that gives us reason to smile, maybe laugh or chuckle, or give thanks. Or as it is sometimes, and we can be honest with God, we can cry, we can scream, or pour out our hearts in grief, knowing that God is right there at that point with us, listens and loves us. So God's intentional witness continues into every tiny or grand thing in the cosmos. God is intimate with us, but also huge and expressive with all things. We tend to see God in maybe big things, but we miss the small and tiny, like the dance of raindrops in a rain puddle or water puddle today. Or maybe after the rain, see bubbled droplets that are resting on just small blades of green grass, which are just magical and beautiful. But sometimes we sleepwalk through life and we're totally unaware of the invitation to participate with God and in all that is happening in us and around us. Right now, you guys are eating. And we've been given the ability to taste, touch, hear, see, smell. But how often do we really use these amazing gifts to slow down and enjoy and savor the meals we eat? Or to pause and fully savor a moment when maybe our nose might attract us to something outside. There's a fragrance we catch a sniff of. Do we pause to let it catch our attention, to move our eyes towards that gaze of seeing what it is, and maybe then being able to hear birds that are sitting in the branches of the tree, and maybe even accept an invitation to walk over and touch the delicate petals, or maybe even break off a stem to put in a glass of water at our workstation for the day. Maybe we could playfully delight in those experiences and moments rather than just letting them rush on by. Just simple invitations, a moment of pause. I've come to realize that perhaps we do not all sing songs only in a traditional way. It was beautiful music this morning. I'm not up here singing because that is not my gifting. But maybe a smile is a way of having a song. Maybe humming softly while we walk the hallways or we're doing our charting at our workstations. Maybe that will help us lighten the moment and let our head come home into our bodies and our hearts. Perhaps the song of silence. Have you thought about that? And that listening invites others to let their voice be heard, their song to be sung. As I visit patients, I hear lots of feedback of places where your songs are being sung and then they are echoing it as a chorus or as their own addition. I had a patient who, when I walked into the room, I had visited and things, and I had asked them, is there anything they wanted to say thanks to God for? And they got really excited and lit up, and they said with great delight and honesty, yes, Chaplain, I took a big SH today. Explanation point. That's how it was delivered, and you know the word. And they went on then from that honest statement and place of relief and thing to tell me about the compassionate care that they had received when they had been hurting so badly in such a practical way, but was so important to them. They were singing a song, and they were echoing a song of care that someone gave to them. Perhaps our message to deliver isn't so formal or rehearsed or scripted. Perhaps our messages bring information needed to help others take their medicine or care for themselves. They care for their bodies, their minds, their life rhythms, their hearts, their souls. Messages to help a person open to receive God's gifts of grace in various forms, like different colored pills to help with depression or illness, or wound care products to stop the body from seeping. Perhaps our positive messages to one another can boost hearts and souls and give a person what is needed to soak into their dry ground of exhaustion and stress. And for me, the experience with the reality of chronic illness gave me more empathy to be with people who also face disorientation and loss, who are grieving and waiting for whatever might come next. And maybe our acts of love don't always have to be so epic either. Sometimes acts of love are like the patient on Comfort Care who told me that they had gotten ice delivered for their Dr. Pepper so they could drink something with a zing, a moment of joy. Or perhaps it is nourishment given through food delivered on plates and trays, and which causes a patient to tell me, wow, I never knew hospital food could be so good. Or what if an act of love is my pausing before entering or exiting a room and letting myself actually feel the smoothness of the hand sanitizer or the soap and water? And to pause, to breathe, and just be at home in myself for just a moment of renewal. A moment of act of love to ask for wisdom or good listening before proceeding, or to be thankful for something good that just happened, maybe a slight change or a relief of pain, or that they can finally sleep. Dear ones, as you live your lives and take your breaths, remember, God sends each person into this world with a special song to sing, with a special message to deliver, with a special offer of love to bestow. No one else can sing your song, deliver your message, or offer your act of love. These are entrusted only to you. God is with us. I like to go like this, the witness of God. And God also invites us to participate in all that God is involved in. Pause often to receive God's love to you so that you can be fully and wonderfully you. Be free to sing your songs and also receive the songs from others. Be free to deliver your messages and receive messages from others. And be free to offer your acts of love as God's gifts in various forms. And open also to receive those offers of love from others. Bless you all, and may God meet you today in special ways.